But it wasn't an octagon. It was a ring.
Yeah, I kind of stopped myself.
Boxing terms. Come on, man.
Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what did we just get out of seeing?
We just got out of seeing The Smashing Machine.
The Smashing Machine, the one that has been heralded as Dwayne The Rock Johnson's Academy Award potentially nominated winning performance. Who knows? It's going to be a race, that's for sure. But let's talk about the movie first. Let's just not get at
Should I just say it?
yeah, we're not going to be around the bush here. You didn't like this movie.
Extremely disappointing. And it's unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this movie. I was looking forward to it more than one battle after another and some of the other recent films that we had coming out, because September and October to me are kind of dull months for movies. So I was super excited for this one. And the whole time, all I kept thinking was, wow, this is really different than what I expected it to be. And I was trying to get into the movie itself, and I just couldn't get into this.
Yeah, which is interesting because, I wasn't really too hyped about the movie outside of hearing about The Rock's performance in it and, that fascinating me. And of course, Emily Blunt being in a movie, that's
She's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, that's wonderful within itself. I'm kind of on the other side of the spectrum here. I actually found myself going from slightly disinterested in the movie to by the end of it, I'm like, wow, that was a really good film.
I feel like we're so opposite on this one, especially.
Well, okay, here. Let's break it down here. What didn't you like about the movie? Like why did you think, like, what were you expecting going into it to now finally seeing what it was, and what was delivered?
Yeah, so we'll start off with the story. So it's about Murr, who was one of the first UFC fighters, and his story of addiction and then coming back into the octagon ring at the time. And so I felt like the story was all over the place because it goes back to his girlfriend who had addictions as well. And I just never felt like the story found its footing, really. It was like the way it was written or edited, it just felt all over the place to me.
Now, were you already familiar with Marker's story before this movie?
Yeah, I knew a little bit about him just because I've watched the UFC and understood it. And so I just felt like it really didn't capture it super well, in my opinion. And I don't know. I really don't know what I expected, because a lot of times, you know this, my favorite sports movie of all time is Moneyball. I love Moneyball. I love how it integrates kind of old footage into the film, and I just love the way it tells its story because it felt more of like a game by game, and maybe that's what I expected from this, that it was going to take me fight through fight, but I don't know, it felt all over the place to me.
Which is interesting you say that. I mean, the director, Benny Safdie, I believe, who you may know more as an actor, you've seen him pop up in Oppenheimer, and he wrote, directed, and edited this movie.
Which usually is like slam dunk kind of territory.
Sometimes. I mean, we see that more recently with Sean Baker and Nora, but here, I guess it didn't work for you.
No, it really didn't. And like, again, I didn't think the performances were that strong, which was disappointing because Emily Blunt and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, when they were together, I feel like they have such chemistry. And in this, I just didn't feel it at all.
Oh my gosh. I at the beginning of this, I knew I said it was on the other side of the spectrum, but I didn't know I was breaking the spectrum here, whatever meter we're talking about here.
Really
Because
thought them?
I thought they were great. Like, I was truly, taken aback by some of their performance, mainly, The Rock's. I really do think it's an Academy caliber performance from him here. He really dives into this character and is very unrecognizable for the most part. And, I mean, just based off the trailers, I thought he kind of looked silly and like I thought it was just, yes, it was cool that he was unrecognizable. And I'm like, but that's The Rock, right? Like, I mean, knowing it's The Rock after seeing like his name on the board and all that, like, okay, that's The Rock. Seeing him throughout the movie, I'm like, I kept forgetting that this was Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
My face right now. I
The
thought
subjectivity of movies, everybody.
Yeah, I guess we're really opposite. I thought he was so dull in this film. Like, maybe that's just the way it was written, but I just felt like, I don't know, like The Rock has such charisma and I just didn't feel it here at all. And so, do you think he'll be nominated for Best Actor?
I think this is worth a nomination for Best Actor.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not just prosthetics on a man and him looking like the character and doing an imitation. I think he truly transforms into this character. And again, I don't know like nothing about Mark Kerr, right? Like
Hmm.
I know nothing. You probably know more than I do. But from what I was given from a fresh slate of this movie with Mark Kerr's story, yeah, I felt like it transcended not only the his acting capabilities, but just to to that next level of really bringing that message of what the movie was about, with like falling apart, coming back together, falling apart again, coming back together, but stronger. Like, I mean, it's really in essence capturing that. And I think this movie does something interesting where kind of like this is probably a false comparison, at least in regards to scale, but funny we bring up Oppenheimer because during some of the movie I was thinking like, well, I don't really see the celebrity in the guy. I'm not really seeing like the outside world reactions to Mark Kerr. And, I and that's kind of like what a lot of people were saying with Oppenheimer, like James Cameron. He's like, well, what about the people in Japan? What about these people? Like, what happened with them and like how they were affected? And of course, that's a completely other level of, levity and gravity there. But here, I feel like it's similar in a sense where we are more focused on the person and trying to get like that TMZ paparazzi look, like as if someone's in the room, like the fly on the wall, trying to hone in on what's going on inside this person's mind at the time. And I think due to the star of the show, which is not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the cinematography and directing, I think is the star of the show here. I think like due to that paired with that performance, it really does capture the subtlety, the power of subtlety in acting, where it's not what they say, it's what they do and what they show in their performance.
My mind is kind of just blown right now. I couldn't disagree with you more.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it. Like, movie again, like this is totally okay. Movies are subjective, and we can definitely disagree on it. I just felt his performance was so lackluster. I didn't get the motivation thing at all. I felt the story was all over the place. Like, I'm just shocked. I'm really just shocked that like the cinematography and directing was just a standout to you, and I didn't feel that way at all.
Now, when you say it was all over the place, how do you mean?
Well, I don't want to go like
Like in general.
generalities. I think it's interesting because it jumps to like different main characters. So there's another character in here, and it felt like halfway through the movie, it switched from Dwayne The Rock Johnson being the main character to this other character. And I was like, why aren't we following this other character's story?
I think we are. I mean, the movie isn't
Well,
about.
like throughout the whole thing, not just for like a couple of scenes.
Well, I mean, it was more than a couple of scenes.
It was, yes.
And it was kind of like, little beats in the story. Like it came up here when it was needed, and it just gave enough, significance to those moments to give other moments more weight later on. So, and again, without giving too much away, it does bring those little moments do bring that greater sense of significance to more powerful moments in the last act that it's like without those smaller moments, you wouldn't be getting to that point.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, cause I understand the person we're speaking of does happen to be a part of Mark Kerr's life and his story and everything. So it's important that you have this character in the story. But I just felt like it was just interesting how it was handled. And again, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, I just know coming out of this movie, I was like, wow, I feel disappointed.
Were you not I guess and I kind of got the sense of that from a lot of people in the theater that were probably expecting more of a Creed than an art house, type of movie.
Yeah,
And this is what came down to. I feel like it was more of that art house.
yeah, it was definitely more, and that's like kind of A24 style, pretty much. And
Right.
so I I knew it was A24 that was doing it. So that's actually a great point that you're bringing up. Like, maybe, yeah, like, you know how this is so random, but you know how, like, we saw Godzilla, and the Godzilla that I like is like this big monster that tears up the city. And when we saw Godzilla minus one, that was really disappointing to me because I didn't feel that in a sense. I think that's a great, like, explanation of how I felt in this, like, for my sports movies, I kinda want it to be that way.
You know what's funny? All three of the movies we brought up for comparison, including this one, all have to do with Japan.
You know what? Maybe we should just take a trip
Yeah,
there.
no, next podcast, Japan, meet us there,
Guys,
Tokyo, let's go.
meet up in Japan.
Yeah, I guess we're so divided on this movie, we'll meet each other like I am opposing directions in Japan.
It's not a bad idea. I really can't find any, like, standouts or positive, like, it's
Not
not
even the lighting?
yeah, it's not like a bad movie, say. It was just, like, really dull.
Okay, I here's the thing. I will say in the first act, I did get the feeling the movie was giving me the sense it was gonna be a little more dull because I kind of had a little bit of a similar expectation like you did, where yes, expecting more Creed than an art house movie.
Mhm.
And here, but like once you get into it, once that's already established, it's like, oh, it's this type of movie. Then you kind of get on board. I mean, again, it's all subjective. You may or may not get on board, but to me, I was able to get on board uh pretty gradually as it went on. I want to say by the beginning of the second act, maybe a little bit before, I jumped on board. I'm like, okay, I can get into this, and it just kind of grew from there. And the movie built, and it was a gradual growth in not only character but storytelling.
I wish I would have gotten there. Maybe I got hit in the head or something too hard because I feel like I should have gotten there too with it.
Multiple illegal knees to the head.
I took too many knees. Well, even just like the camera work really bothered me, which is so funny. Like the camera work, because something that they do in this film is they like zoom in super quick on people's faces, and they kept doing it, and all it could remind me of was sitcoms and like Modern Family, of when the camera is just so shaky and they do these quick zooms into people's faces. And again, like, I have a bias. I don't like that already. So them doing it more in this film made me be like, "Oh my god, stop."
I mean,
I know it's nitpicky. I
no,
know.
no, not necessarily. I mean, that's all subjective as well, but at the same time, you can't tell me that Modern Family, that those are the only occasions of found footage slash documentary, mockumentary kind of stuff you've seen, right?
No, of course not. Like, I've seen, like, Chronicles, a big one because
Right.
found footage and everything. Like, I've seen it before. I don't know why it bothered me so much in this. I feel like it was overly done in a sense where I was like, stop doing it. Like, it's not, like, creative in a way.
I don't know. For me, it really worked. I think it really enhanced the movie to really transport you back to that era and just again, it made you feel like a fly on the wall with someone that had that camera at the time, just being in the room with those people, and I think it really enhanced the experience. Yeah, I don't know, it really worked, especially with how it worked with the lighting, and it was really immersive because not only was it a zoom it's where it's zooming out and in from, what it's showing and what's capturing, I think really enhanced the world building for that time period by showing like who it's zooming past, what else is going on in that room or on the street that they're in, where it's from. And I don't know, it really worked for me. Again, transporting me to that time, to that era, to that place. You could not disagree more.
I can't. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. And I never want to review a film and just be like, this was awful and all that. Like, again, movies are subjective. And if you want to go see this film, you should go see this film because it could be different for you, as in Ethan and I are on different islands at this point. I don't know, it really didn't work for me, and maybe that's something to do with the marketing because I thought the marketing for this was really well done. We've been talking about marketing so much for movies our last couple of podcasts of, how it's so important, and I thought this was a really done marketing and it got me in the theater, and it just I don't know, it just didn't live up to it.
I don't know. I think the marketing for this one was like really good and landed exactly what the movie was supposed to be. Like I don't know. The movie I think captured what the trailer promoted and vice versa. It's just so weird. This is so fascinating to me. Like, I mean, listen, I've disagreed with people on movies before, but we haven't, Emery haven't, and I haven't passionately disagreed about something, like for a movie like this in quite some time. And it's very fascinating. Like, a lot of people get turned off by how, like, oh, you disagree with me on this movie? Gosh, I don't even want to talk to you anymore, stupid head. But you don't even make the bathroom stupid. But
What?
I don't know. But anyway, so it's just so. But to me, it's just so fascinating, like why you have that opinion and just like your breakdown of it all, and even with your rationale. I'm like, wow, I still don't get it. But I don't know. It's like your rationale makes sense in a way, but to me, I'm just like that. What you say makes sense, but not to me.
We're usually quite similar, but this one, I don't know. We're really different, but I was I'll say this, I was pretty like going into this film being like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, best actor nomination, for sure he's gonna get it. And after seeing it, I'm like, I don't think he deserves it. He might get it,
Mm.
but to me, it was really lackluster. It was a different performance for him, which I think is great, not to be put in a box, but did not I just didn't get it.
Well, he'd be putting up.
Octagon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but it
seems.
wasn't an octagon, it was a ring.
Yeah, I kind of stopped myself.
Boxing terms, come on, man.
I'm working on it. We're already in the fight. You want to get into the octagon?
Get my boxing gloves on.
Here we go. No, it's just so fascinating to me. Just again, this whole dichotomy here of you like it or I like it, you don't like it, but like with the intensity of how much we both are in this our corners of the arena here. So wow, I'm taken aback by that more than the performances.
Yeah, really.
Before we get to wrap things up here, Annmarie, I think I already know the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Out of 10, oh no, I can't say that. We're not even monetized, but if we were, we'd be demonetized if
Oh.
I said this.
Oh, no.
Gosh, there weren't too many other objects in this. Oh no, wait. Out of 10 Japanese broken bowls that were put together with gold, how many would you give the Smashing Machine out of 10?
Oh man, Ethan. Okay.
Let's gauge this spectrum.
Let's gauge the spectrum. I think I originally was sitting at a 6, but I think I have to drop it to a 5.5. You already know. I know. I just, it really didn't work for me. And again, that doesn't mean it won't work for other people. I felt like the performances were so lackluster. I thought it didn't have the sports motivation movie nonsense that I love, which I'll fully admit I love that. It just didn't capture me the way I was hoping it would. And again, I think just disappointed is the best way. Is it a bad movie? No, it's a really dull movie though. And so I think 5.5 is pretty fair on my spectrum.
Okay. I mean, in all honesty, I was kind of half expecting your score to be below 5,
Yes.
but I guess here we're not taking a trip to 5 below, so that's great to hear. So, I gotta give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll say this, at the beginning of the movie, I would probably say it's more of a on the, like, 7 side of things, like, but again, a movie and story is best when it grows from small beginnings.
Mhm.
And this one really does so and elevates in all levels. And I I found myself really enjoying the performances, being really captivated by them, the directing, the cinematography, the lighting, the design. I mean, everything about this movie really came together for me. And I, again, know nothing about Mark Kerr. So, and I'm not even the biggest UFC wrestling fan. I'm more of a, if anything, more of a boxing guy. And here, I was just so surprised by how much this was able to transcend the experience of how much, I'm disinterested in that subject matter, but I know nothing about the guy, but I was really captivated by it all. And the beauty of the subtlety of acting, I think, really accelerates here. And I got to give it a 9 out of 10. Now, if you're going into this movie expecting, again, what Annmarie was expecting, more of like your traditional sports movie, you're not going to get that here. I'll tell you that right now. And if I were expecting that going into it, I probably would give it a lower score as a result, because again, that's not what you get. But for what we do get in regards to film, I think it really delivered and get a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but I think it was really good.
My face right now.
You were shaking your head the whole time, like,
Uh-uh.
no, put those words back where they came from in your mouth. Isn't it great that we come here to review a movie about fighting and wrestling and all that, yet we are the ones that were fighting the whole time.
Oh my. Just wrap it.
We want to know your thoughts about the Smashing Machine, guys. So whether you loved it, you hated it, you're on Annmarie's side, you're on my side, you're in her corner, my corner. Let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, yes, I think it's about time we wrap it.
Yes.
All right, guys. So thank you again for joining us on this episode of Cassette Take. We hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast, like Annmarie's fist ejecting into my face soon after we're done recording. But whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And oh, here comes the giant fist!